What's up guys, and welcome to today's squad builder. Today we will start a mini series on players who have left their native country and are now playing in a different one. For instance, Cristiano Ronaldo, who is Portuguese and is now playing for Real Madrid in the Spanish La Liga, or Diego Costa, who's Spanish and is now playing in England for Chelsea in the Premier League. We will do this nation by nation, and as you might have already seen from the title, we will start with the English. Now, it's actually not a lot of English players who are playing outside of England, but we've managed to find 11 of them, and we've put them in a 4-3-3 formation. With that being said, let's start with the squad building. Our goalkeeper is Joe Hart. Now, Joe Hart is obviously a long-time Manchester City goalkeeper, but he was basically forced to leave the club last summer when Pep Guardiola came in and brought in Raul Bravo. He basically told Joe Hart, okay, it's either the bench or a different team, and Joe Hart decided for the latter and is currently on loan in Italy playing for Torino. Joe Hart has also made 66 appearances for the English national side. Our defense will be purely silver, and the first player we'll use is Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole has made 107 appearances for the English national team, played 6 years for Arsenal, 8 years for Chelsea, and is currently playing for LA Galaxy in the MLS. He is joined by a perfect link, also from the MLS, Liam Ridgewell. Liam Ridgewell plays for the Portland Timbers, is actually the captain of Portland, but has spent the majority of his career in Birmingham. He has made no appearances for the English national side, but has played a handful of games for the junior teams. He is joined by his teammate, Stephen Taylor. Stephen Taylor, longtime Newcastle United defender, also hasn't played any games for the English senior team, but has made more than 30 appearances for the English junior teams. Our final defender, our right back, is Ashley Wisdom. Ashley Wisdom is a Liverpool talent who is currently on loan in Austria playing for Salzburg to gain valuable match time. He has made no appearances for England yet, but since he's pretty young, it's probably only a matter of time until he gets the call. Our midfield features two English legends. First one is Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard, obviously a long-time Liverpool talent. He would have probably also made the most loyal list that we featured in our last video. If you haven't seen that, check it out in the channel. But Steven Gerrard has played for Liverpool and is now playing for the LA Galaxy as well, similar to Ashley Cole, and has played 114 games for the English national side. He is joined in centre mid by Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard has played 13 years for Chelsea, has spent 1 year in Manchester playing for City on loan, but is now full-time playing for New York FC and has made 106 appearances for the English national side. The final centre mid we will use is a talent again, as we will use Lewis Baker. Lewis Baker is a Chelsea talent who is currently on loan at Vitesse in the Dutch league, and similar to Wisdom, he hasn't made any appearances for the English team yet, but it's probably only a matter of time until he gets the call and gets an opportunity. Our two strikers. The first one, our left wing, is Scott Sinclair. Now Scott Sinclair has seen many clubs. He's played for Chelsea, he's played for Man City, he's played for Aston Villa, and is now playing for Celtic Glasgow in the Scottish League. He hasn't made any senior appearances for England, but has been on the 2012 Olympics team when the Olympics were held in London, England. Our main striker, again from the MLS, is Bradley Wright Phillips from the New York Red Bulls. Now Bradley Wright Phillips, who came from the Manchester City junior team, has mostly played in lower divisions when he was in England, but has been with New York Red Bulls since 2013, so he seems to have found his spot in the MLS. And he's actually the only player who hasn't made any appearances for any English team, whether it's senior or junior, he hasn't been on any of them. Now the final spot, it's actually a right mid that we're looking for here, as we will use Patrick Roberts. Patrick Roberts, who also plays for Celtic Glasgow, comes from the Fulham junior team and is currently on loan from Manchester City. He hasn't made any appearances for the English national side, but he was just called on the under 30 team and debuted in September. Now with Roberts, As right wing, our team is complete, 11 English players who are not playing in England. We get a rating of 73, a chemistry of 100 obviously, so now let's see how this team performs.
The opponent we come up against was basically playing with a non-chemistry team. He was using players from all kinds of leagues, and besides the 2 Dutchmen up front and the 2 French players in the back, there weren't any links at all in this team. However, his offensive trio wasn't bad. RVP up front and the 2 pacey wingers Elia and Biabiani on the left and right side. For the first couple of minutes, this game was pretty much a back and forth between the 2 boxes. After 5 minutes, Steven Gerrard has the ball, passes to Wright Phillips, who was on the border of being offside here, but unfortunately we can't convert. I'm not sure if it's the same for you guys, but in this year's FIFA, finishing seems somewhat harder than in previous editions. The scene continues as we get a throw in next to the corner post, but again, as Sinclair passes it to Gerrard, we shoot right at the keeper. Our opponent had similar issues though, as the switching mechanism in our defense messes up, and RVP basically gets a free shot on target, but Joe Hart deflects it for a corner. After half an hour, this situation happens. We get tackled by our opponent, and it looks like the ball is gone. We follow up with Lampard though, outmuscle the defender and get fouled for a penalty. Lampard steps up, keeps it center, and makes it 1-0 for the Englishmen abroad. That's basically all that happened in the first half. Despite the lack of goals, it was a pretty fun 45 minutes. Looking at the stats, we dominated in front of the goal, but our opponent also produced a few chances. Improving our finishing abilities would definitely help to seal such games earlier. Pretty early in the second half, we have the ball in midfield while Sinclair is making a run on the left. As there's no defender around, we exploit the gap and Sinclair has no trouble, making it 2-0. And while our opponent still had some chances in the first half, situations like these were basically all that he managed to create in the second. The shot from distance that Joe Hart had no trouble defending. A few minutes later, our opponent messed up this free kick. We steal the ball with Wright Phillips, body feint the defender, and off we go. We outrun the defenders before scoring the next goal. The game was basically done here, but we were far from being done scoring goals. Sinclair has the ball on the left side. We see Wright Phillips making another run in the box and use the resulting space to convert this cross for the 4-0. 2 goals in less than 5 minutes for Wright Phillips. Despite the lack of pace, he was pretty nice to play with, even against a full golden defense. Check him out if you're looking for a low-budget MLS team. After that goal, the game started lagging quite a bit, so we played safety and tramped in the situation to score a goal with Frank Lampard. And that was it, guys. We beat our opponent 5-0 with a squad made up of English players who were playing for teams outside of England. The second half was even more dominant than the first one, as we end up with 22 to 7 shots, 16 of those being on target. Let me know in the comments down below how you think about this year's finishing on FIFA and who your favorite English player is, regardless of the league he's playing in. See you in the next squad builder.